Harry and Meghan are a blunt tool. They're a blunt tool for fighting.
You don't know what happened.
And I think the treatment of Lady Hussey has been really terrible, actually. But let me pose my question to you, Tess, because you didn't give me a chance. Do you accept that there were certain things that Harry and Meghan did during their time in the royal family that made them unpopular, both with people within the institution and the British public? Do you accept that their actions, their behaviour had anything to do with why public opinion changed? Or do you sign up to their thesis that it's all down to the terrible media and the terrible public?
Dear Dan, it doesn't work well for your black and white clash, but these issues are always grey. Of course, she came with Californian pretensions. She was a celebrity marrying into the British institution of celebrity, the ultimate institution of celebrity, which is modern monarchy. And yeah, she had her agenda, and I don't think she'd have ever lasted in the royal family.
Okay, good. I'm glad you admit that.
I'm glad you admit that. Was not fit. It was not fit for purpose.
No, but she didn't want. She did not try. She did not try. She never wanted it to work, Angela, did she? That's the point. And I'm glad you admit that, Tessa. She never wanted it to work. She came in to prove a point, Angela.
She thought that she would come in and be on the same level as William and Catherine. And we saw in the trailer this afternoon that you say, you know, there is a hierarchy. Well,
no sugar, Sherlock.
You know, for goodness sake. And she pretended she didn't know the anthem. She pretended all sorts of things. She was an innocent in a...
I mean, Tessa, come on. What a bombshell from Harry. The royal family's a hierarchical organisation. Exactly. Shock horror.
Indeed, but now we're lowering ourselves to their levels. Mudslinging. What I'm saying to you is, Dan,
they're slinging the mud. They're slinging the mud at their own father, at their own flesh and blood.
You can't let them get away with it. So let me speak too. You can't let them get away with it. And also, if you don't reply, then they win. They're telling so many lies that you have to actually correct them. And I hope that William said that, I believe William has said that he will correct them when they make errors.
I hope he does.
And they have to do that. They have to.
Royal biographer Angela Levin has issued a passionate plea, calling on Prince William to finally step in and set the record straight against Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Levin says the Sussexes have spread untruths and distortions about the royal family for too long, and insists it's time for William to act. So, what exactly is she urging the future king to do, and why does she believe silence is no longer an option? In a fiery interview, Angela Levin declared that the Prince of Wales must defend the monarchy's integrity by correcting the narrative pushed by Harry and Meghan. She argues that for years, the Sussexes have thrown accusations like grenades, from the Oprah interview to their Netflix series and Harry's memoir, Spare. Levin insists that the royal family's long-standing policy of never complain, never explain no longer works, not in the social media age, where falsehoods spread in seconds. According to Levin, Prince William represents the monarchy's future, and the public trusts him. She believes that if William calmly and factually addresses the Sussexes' claims, it would restore confidence in the royal family's credibility.
Sorry, Tessa, we'll let you respond now.
Yeah, I just think, first of all, the mudslinging doesn't work. The Fourth Estate, the press, it relies on access to the royal family. So you get hagiographies, you get obsequious behaviour, you don't get decent interrogation of their recruitment processes, of the obescent throng of royal snobs that James Pope Hennessy identified in the 1950s. We need to strip that away. There needs to be proper, decent, thorough, just as in any institution of state, transparent procedures that don't exist. Harry and Meghan are a sideshow. In the end, the broad shoulders of monarchy can resist them. But if we go down to their level and sling mud at them, then we are reducing our monarchy to little more than celebrity trash. And I ask you to resist. And I also ask you for fairer, more balanced coverage. Both you and Angela. I follow you on Twitter. I saw your faux placing of the flowers. I read Angela's book. There needs to be balance. There is no baddie and goodie here.
Well, what do you think we're doing here? What do you think we're doing here? And I'm sorry that if you think that me paying tribute to the late Queen Elizabeth II has anything to do with my discussion about Harry and Meghan. Tessa, I covered Harry and Meghan's time in the royal family. I was the first person to actually break the fact that the Queen had expressed displeasure to Prince Harry about Meghan's behaviour, and that started this ball rolling. But I agree with you that the royal family has to be covered diligently and with some force, actually, by journalists, and that is always what I do. Absolutely. Honestly, Tessa, go back and read the columns that I wrote about Meghan when she first entered the royal family. I could not have been more of a champion of that woman. What changed? Maybe her bullying of staff? Maybe the fact that she had a plan the whole time?
Levin says, quote, "You can't let them get away with it forever. Lies, if unchallenged, become truth, and William must protect the crown's reputation." Harry and Meghan's ongoing attacks have reportedly caused deep personal pain within the palace. Levin argues that every time the Sussexes speak publicly, whether about race, titles, or private conversations, the silence from Buckingham Palace is perceived as weakness. She believes a measured response from William could finally draw a line under the constant drama. However, breaking royal protocol carries risk. If William responds directly, critics could accuse him of fueling the feud or validating the Sussexes' complaints. Levin acknowledges this, but insists the stakes are too high to ignore. The monarchy's reputation, she says, can't be left at the mercy of Netflix deals and PR spin. Angela Levin's message is clear. Prince William must no longer stay silent. As the future king, he represents not just his family, but the continuity and credibility of the British monarchy itself. Whether he chooses to speak out or remain silent, one thing is certain. The battle over truth between the Sussexes and the palace is far from over.